America to be the greatest country in the world. And it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for. And if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
Family. It is I, Hot Seat Todd. Graham is not with us this morning. He is in a meeting, but he left you guys in mine and Mexican Tony's very capable hands. I hope everybody slept well. I slept this much last night because, as most of you know, I have a new puppy, and Kendra was fighting a grizzly bear in her sleep last night. So yeah, I'm running on empty right now. But anyway, let's get business out of the way real quick. Now is the opportunity and the time for you to smash that like button. Go and leave us a comment in the actual comment section. We love to go back and read those things and respond to your questions, possibly pick out a topic for the next show. Share this. Absolutely share this with somebody that you love, but also share it with somebody that you know it's going to aggravate because, you know, we have a twofold mission here at Dear America. One is to keep you updated, and two is to aggravate liberals. That's our job. But we have with us, as always, my brother from another mother, Mexican Tony.
¿Qué pasa? Oh,
You didn't make it
come
dance,
on, dance.
man.
I was trying.
And I, as always, your favorite redneck from Mississippi, I am Hot Seat Todd. So we got a lot to talk about this morning, a whole lot. Russia and North Korea, we've known that's been coming for a long time, but it's now in full effect. And I've got a question for Tony. I've got a question for you guys as well, because Putin and Kim said something very interesting yesterday that got me to thinking that maybe we're closer to World War III than we originally thought. The warships have left Cuba, and nobody knows where they are. Apparently they were seen off the coast of Florida by the naked eye, and who knows. But before we get started on that, let's hit our first sponsor, which is a new sponsor, MyBookie. Guys, we've all been there before. A weekend trip, casino, canceled because of real life came rolling in. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. Take advantage of the weekly blackjack tournaments and a brand new collection of high-end games for a real chance to win real cash rewards. And that's not all, because their revamped loyalty program ensures that you'll be showered with rewards, including free spins, cashback offers, and a host of exclusive VIP perks. The more you play, the more you win. By using the promo Graham, that is GRAHAM, on MyBookie.com, using the pro word Graham to secure yourself a sweet deposit bonus. Play anytime, anywhere with MyBookie Casino. All right.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
I was thinking that too. I've never done it. You know, I've never done it. Me personally, I like the casino. I'm a 3-card poker guy. But see, I used to be a big blackjack guy, but the problem I have with blackjack is the person to your left or the person to your right can lose money for you. 3-card poker, man, it's just mano a mano. So, I mean, I'm well, if you give me $500, I'd be glad to go do that. Yeah, no. But anyway, all right, so Donald Trump was in Wisconsin yesterday, and we've got this clip here, the crowd chanting, "Send them back." Send who back? You know, play it.
Send them back! 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 Send them back!
And why not? I mean, does anybody look? Let's get the chat going. Yeah. All right, guys, can y'all hear Tony? Tony, say something. Can't hear him. All right, we're working on that right now, so you'll just have to deal with my hillbilly accent for the time being. Tony, keep talking just in case we can fix this. Yeah, sing. Start singing. Ah, caramba. Anyway, of course, send them back. Let's get the chat going right now. Still can't hear him? No sound. All right, we're gonna go. Mr. Producer, pop me in the ear. Should be good now. Tony, say something.
Hello? Can you guys hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Better? Nope. Nope. Nothing.
Wow. Well, Tony,
That's
just
weird.
sit there and smile.
Okay.
Oh, you
just
did
gonna
fix
sit
it?
here.
Okay, cool. All right, we should be good now. We should
Oh,
be
I'm
good.
back. All
And
right, cool.
again,
All right.
not me.
Yeah,
These are
me
not
either. I'm just
technical-
sitting here.
These are
it
not
was,
technical
It was the
difficulties.
Chihuahua. The Chihuahua messed up the whole.
Probably unplugged something. But so let's get the chat going right now. Do you agree with the people of Wisconsin? Send them back. Do you agree? Yes if you do, no if you don't. I better not see any no's. I'm just gonna be real with you. I better not see any of them. So let's go. Send them back. Let's get the chat going. But why? Like, why? I mean, there's a plethora of reasons. But Tony, did you know that just yesterday or the day before yesterday, they caught 68 offenders, hint, trying to cross the border. They arrested them, all right, and now, guys, this is where we're at. I mean, this is where we're at. They are actually, if you didn't know, and I've got to choose my words carefully here, they are giving classes at the border, teaching the people coming across the border that American women, you can't physically offend.
And again, we've had this conversation many times, and we could talk about this until we're blue in the face. You're either for it and you're against it, and the people that are for it,
The vote.
other countries are emptying out their prisons and they're heading this way. I mean, we're it's not like we're getting doctors and lawyers and whatnot that want to come over here. Those people would do everything, legally. Exactly. They're sending over here murderers and the worst of the worst people.
It's a win-win situation for everybody else except America, the conservative movement. It's a win for the countries because they get to empty out their prisons and they don't have to pay to feed them anymore. They don't have to house them. They don't have to worry about it. All right. It's a win for the liberals because they're getting another vote for their people. And don't tell me they're not going to be allowed to vote because the city of San Francisco just elected a Chinese illegal or a Chinese immigrant that is not allowed to vote to be on their election committee. So don't tell me that.
And what's sad about it, not sad, but one of the reasons why it's most sad is because the people who are being most effective are usually innocent people because a lot of they're coming in and they're committing crimes to people that have, they're like we keep seeing articles daily now with illegal immigrants that are committing atrocious crimes.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah,
and that's all because of the open borders.
You've got Lake and Riley. Now you've got this Rachel lady from Maryland, which is 1,800 miles from the border. Now you've got this 13-year-old in Central Park in New York, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. So yeah, send them back. Are they going to do it? No, they're probably going to find a way to legalize
like you
them.
just said. You just said, they're giving these people the right to vote. And it just, I mean, that's their whole game plan, obviously. And that's why they keep letting the people come through and with the open border plan.
100%. Couldn't agree with you more, brother. Couldn't agree with you more. Well, let's get to our second ad today. That is our good friends, Christian organization, Patriot Mobile. Right now, did you know that Patriot Mobile is joining the nation's most committed pro-life advocates on June the 21st and 23rd in Washington, D.C. to celebrate life? The 2024 National Celebrate Life Weekend commemorates the 2-year anniversary of the historic Dobbs decision that overturned Roe v. Wade on June 24, 2022. So Patriot Mobile is honored to sponsor this conference and rally for the second year in a row since the overturn of Roe. What we need you to do is go to patriotmobile.com/Graham, and You put in Graham, that's free activation for your device. Join people like Charlie Kirk, Graham Allen, Dan Bongino, and many others. Guys, we get emails after emails after emails that from folks that said they've made the switch, that they love it, that the coverage is great, and now they have this new technology where it doesn't matter where you are, if you're in a Verizon neighborhood or an AT&T neighborhood, it's going to pick up that tower by just a push of a button. So go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. Again, patriotmobile.com/Graham.
Boom. Good job, Todd.
All right, let's continue here. Well, I'm just a little nervous about the advertisers because, a lot of people don't understand this accent. So maybe
It's funny that you get more flack for your accent than I do with mine. I always find that pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a mix. Like some people are like, yeah, I love his accent. I love the drawl. Or some people are like, yeah, he sounds like Boomhauer from King of the Hill. And that's true. But anyway, so KJP, or Predator, the second worst press secretary in history, because I think Raggedy Ann takes the cake. She said a couple days ago, if I remember correctly, that all these videos of Biden are deep fakes, that they're not real, that somebody's making them up, or some right-wing advocate behind the shadows is doctoring footage to make Biden look like an Alzheimer's patient. Well, he did it again yesterday. Let's play this.
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary.
Yeah, Sisson, how did they fake that one? Brad Kranzenstein, or however you pronounce your name. How you fake that? Like help me out here. Can we play that one more time? Just it's 9 seconds. Can we play that one more time?
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary.
And for me, the thing is that it wouldn't be so bad if this person isn't considered to be the leader of the free world. I mean, I understand that he's got some kind of medical issue. We can all agree pretty much that something's going on with him, right? Yeah,
100%.
We're not making fun of, or it's not that we make fun of him. We're just concerned that this person is the person representing all of us, and as you can see, all our enemies are like sharks just circling the water. They smell blood in the water because he's not a leader.
No. Well, I mean, I've said this before. I'll say it again. I wouldn't follow Joe Biden to the bathroom. I'm just being honest.
Well, somebody has to help him.
Yeah, for real. But it kills me. And what they're doing right now is just like, who is leading their campaign? Because I see the Biden Twitter account, where he's got the laser beam eyes, the Dark Joe or whatever they call it. They're posting stuff about Trump being mentally not there and not be able to walk upstairs and stuff like that. And I'm like, really? That's the game you want to play? Like, you got so many more things to go after Trump over. That's what you're going to choose? Did you see Trump gave his speech, and he's walking, and his son is right there, like standing on the ground, and he reached down and shook his hand.
No, he did not.
Somebody,
really?
Yes, he reached down and shook his son's hand, and somebody cut that particular of Trump grabbing his son's hand and posted, look, Trump needs help walking down a ramp.
Huh.
But we're the ones deep faking this stuff. Like, are you serious? You rock with lips? Like, come on, man.
Well, I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, obviously, we touched on it yesterday that, or the day before, whenever it was that they showed that video of him being helped off the stage by Obama.
Yeah.
That, they think we're idiots.
You can't say that, Tony. That's not real.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
You can't
They think we're idiots, and that our eyes and our ears are lying to us, that we're not seeing it with our own eye. Yeah. I mean, it's just. I mean, it is what it
whatever,
is.
Dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so. It's so hard to do this sometimes without saying horrible things.
Yeah, I know.
So difficult because they just want to run out. But yeah, so the deep faking, and I asked this question: if there's anybody in the chat right now that's like in production or knows anything about Photoshop or any of these Adobe systems and stuff, to me it seems like it would be one thing to doctor footage from an actual camera, like a professional, like what we're doing right now. But a cell phone, I just don't see it. Like I just don't see it.
Yeah,
Like,
I did hear. I was listening to a news talk show yesterday, and he said the same exact thing you're saying, Todd. I mean, there are a lot of professional people that can doctor and edit videos, but the things that he's doing like that, AI doesn't have the capability to do that without making it look.
Now, and we know, like, whether it's mask or not, I don't know. But the biggest video that I remember is, Joe Biden's a lot like, his eyes are like mine. I always look like I'm mad because I squint a lot. But the video where he was like this, talking, that ain't him. I don't care what you say. That ain't him. But so we have a poll here, and I find this poll really interesting with the way things are going right now with no toss-up states. They've got Trump winning 312 to 226. Now, I'm sorry, I don't agree with this. I think it's going to be a lot worse than this. I see Trump winning New Mexico. I see him winning Minnesota and Virginia. Now, he's not going to win any of the Washington, Oregon, or California. We know that. He's not going to win New York, Massachusetts, any of those places. He might pull out Vermont. But it's going to be way worse than 312 to 226.
And that's what we were talking about yesterday, too, when we were saying what's the end game here. I agree with you, Todd. I think it's going to be worse as well. But I think the Democrats know this as well. And their plan A or plan B or whatever plans they have, they're shooting to hit up the other side, which is, Senate and Congress and whatnot, because they know that Trump has got this locked up. Or that's what I think anyways.
Yeah,
no matter who they put in there.
Yeah, I agree. And we said this yesterday, and I saw in the comment section yesterday that people said, Todd, don't give up on New York. I'm sorry, Stryker, it's done. Like, New York ain't going red for a very, very long time. It's going to take like a Rudy Giuliani turnaround for that to happen.
Yeah.
But we said yesterday that the only person that could possibly beat Trump would be Obama. Would be Michelle Obama. And I saw all your comments yesterday. Like, there's no way Michelle can beat Trump. Yes, she can. Yes, she absolutely can, just because of her last name. Do I think she's going to jump in the race? No, I don't think there's. They did a statistics, like a betting house did it, and they gave Biden a 26% chance to drop out. And I agree with that. I think even with the debate, doctors and rules the way they are right now, I still don't see it. Even if he gets trashed, I still don't see it. But anyway,
I think the Democrats have a damned if I do, damned if I don't problem, because like I said yesterday, I don't think they have a way to justify removing Biden. I mean, maybe Biden because of his medical issues, but Harris, I mean, removing Kamala, I know a lot of people say she's not black or whatnot, but I mean, to the voters that voted them in, she's a big problem trying to remove her. They're going to lose a lot of the black vote if they haven't already. So I think they have a problem, damn if they do, damn if they do.
I think they gain it. I think the only way they pull the trigger is if Michelle Obama okays it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
No way Gavin Newsom can beat him. There's no way RFK could do it. And even if Haley switched sides, he's already drug her all over the nation in the primaries. So,
and I agree with you. I think if Michelle Obama came into the picture, then they can say, okay, we're stepping aside. The whole Biden administration is stepping aside for Michelle Obama and her pick, and then that way they can justify getting rid of Kamala. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but then again, we have to remind ourselves these people are not stupid. They're very, very smart. They're very crafty.
Yeah.
And the reason why the red wave never lands is because we're not as smart as they are, and we're not willing to get on their level and play the game on their level. Why? I don't know. But, I mean, because who saw that 2 o'clock in the morning thing flip coming? I know I didn't. And Graham was... I thought about it a lot last night. Graham might be right on this. Like, to narrow the gap so they can fix it, that makes a whole lot of sense. Like, I mean, sometimes that dude be pulling stuff out of his butt that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, he did say yesterday also. Remember, he said yesterday also, if Michelle doesn't come in this time, they're setting her up for 2028. That way.
Oh, for sure. Her name will be on a ballot in the next 4 to 8 years. Either way, whether it's this year or in 2028. But let's get with our final sponsor, and that is Nugenix. Fellas, listen. I know all about the testosterone thing. All right, I'm 41 years old. I got a testosterone test about 6 months ago, and now I have to take these things, these shots and stuff like that. If you're tired, if you're exhausted, guys, go get your test levels checked. Go get them checked. What do you have to lose? So, choose this right here, Nugenix Preform. All you have to do is text the word Graham, Graham, to 231-231 to get your bottle of Nugenix Total T. And guys, I'm telling you, it really, really works. Getting old sucks. One day you're going to wake up and you just don't feel like yourself. I did. Low testosterone. I was exhausted. I was cranky. Problems in other places as well. But now that my testosterone levels are where they need to be, Kendra's a happy lady. Hundreds of 5-star reviews from real customers. This stuff really works. Like I said, guys, text the word Graham, Graham, to 231-231 right now.
Congratulations, Sandra, by the way. Okay.
Hey, it works, man. Look, my testosterone was a 7. 7. All right, do you know what normal is? Like 600. It was a 7.
Really?
Yeah. Like the doctor
That's
looked
crazy.
at me and was like, I don't know how you're functioning. I said, well, I go to the gym every day. I'm just tired. And she was like, how do you go to the gym? How? I was like, I don't know. I just do it. Anyway, all right, we're fixing to get in the meat potatoes of this thing right now. So what I need all of you to do right now is to smash that like button. Okay, I need you to hit it right now. Click that follow button. Guys, when you click that follow button, it lets you know when we go live. All right, because sometimes things happen throughout the day, and if a major story breaks, we're going to bring it to you live. So why not go ahead and hit that follow button right now so you can keep up with us. Don't forget about super questions. All right, $5 or more, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, wherever you are listening, wherever you're watching from, $5 or more with a super question, and we will read your question or statement here live on the show. So let's get into this. So Putin is in North Korea. That's bad for everybody. All right, let's just be real. That is bad for everybody, and not just us. But this is him arriving in North Korea with Kim Jong-un. Oh, how sweet. Okay, Mr. Producer, let's go to that article and read some of it real quick before we get to the funniest part of the show. So the axis of evil piles Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un beam as Russian depot arrives for state visit. Vladimir Putin beamed as he was greeted by Kim Jong after touching down in North Korea early on Wednesday morning. Kim rolled out the red carpet for the Russian, whatever that word is, despot, with a glitzy welcome ceremony at an airport in Pyongyang. The two dictators were pictured shaking hands and hugging each other on the runway, entering the same limousine, which set off behind a huge motorcade involving dozens of motorbikes. Kim and Putin then traveled together to Pyongyang's Kusman State Guest House, North Korea's official Korean Central News Agency said. Making his first trip to North Korea in 24 years, Putin said that he appreciates the country's firm support of his military actions in Ukraine. The Kremlin launched a full-scale invasion on the neighboring country in 2022. He said the countries would continue to resolutely oppose what he described as Western ambitions. All right, keep the article here. All right, when those guys say Western, I don't know why they continue to say it, but when they say Western or the West,
we know
they talking
exactly
about
what they're
us.
talking about. Yep.
All right, they talking about us. So we're just going to substitute Western with United States. Everybody cool with that?
I'm cool with that.
Awesome. All right, to hinder the establishment on a multipolar world order based on justice, mutual respect for the sovereignty, considering each other's interest. All right, is there any more here? They're hugging. They're shaking hands, getting in cars. Man, they brought out the band and everything, dude.
Yeah, they did. They got the mariachi band out there.
I mean, man, they got yo people out there playing. All right. Well, let's move on here. So these guys were caught arguing over who was going to get into the car. All right, watch, play this right here. No, you get in. No, you get in. No, you get in. No, you get in. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Get out of here. Man.
So Todd,
Yo.
watching this clip here, I'm dissecting it in my brain here, and it's scary, obviously, with these two dictators being out there together.
Oh, for sure.
And I feel like this is all a chess game that they're doing, because they're making it look to the world like, hey, we're here, and but I feel like none of this would be happening if we actually had a strong leader, Trump, in other words, in at the White House, because
Or just any leader.
Well, because these two dictators they're playing chess, and Biden's playing checkers with himself, and the thing is, I think if they were doing this, if Trump was in office, I don't think it would happen if Trump was in office, but if they did wind up doing this, I feel like Trump would just one up them and go talk to his allies, and just flex his muscles, that the U.S. wasn't going to put up with this. And I am just talking to my family members and my friends that voted for Biden, that are probably still going to vote for Biden if he's there.
Sure. Yeah, they are.
What are you doing? What don't you see about what's happening in the world? What are you doing?
Well, me personally, and I've been thinking about this since they started throwing up these videos yesterday. I think that the North Korea-Russia meeting had a couple purposes, and the number one purpose that they're planning, they're establishing. All right, what are we going to do? Plan A. What are we going to do? Plan B. All right. So what are we going to do? Plan A, if Biden gets reelected. All right, because we all know what they're going to do. All right, they're going to push bricks. You think Putin's going to stop at Ukraine? No. Poland, you're next. You think North Korea is not going to jump into South Korea? Pfft. And guess what? There's still one massive country that we haven't talked about, and that's China. And if those two boys make a move, I promise you, China's coming right along to Taiwan with them. So that, for me, that's plan A.
I wouldn't be surprised if China. Now that you said China, I wouldn't be surprised if China's in the background just pulling all the strings.
I'm sure.
Just
sure.
Telling Putin this and telling the other guy that, blah blah blah.
Oh, I'm sure. And so, and plan B. Well, what are we going to do if Trump gets elected? Which that's a totally different conversation.
Oh yeah, plan B for them is not a good.
It's not a good one. It's like, well, I guess we're just going to have to table this for 4 more years, okay, to see if America is going to in fact destroy itself. But it's not that Trump is like this scary dude or anything. That's not it. He's just crazier, and he knows he has a bigger button than they do. So I think they're plan A, plan B. But here's a scary thing for me. And Tony, I kind of talked to you a little bit about this before the show. And right now, guys, I need y'all to focus and just hear me out. All right, so both of them, both Putin and Kim, have committed to each other that if the West attacks the other, then it's on, basically. That we're going to jump you back, and it's on right here. They're going to arm North Korea with long-range missiles. Let's go ahead and play this real quick.
Обращаю внимание на заявление Соединенных Штатов и других натовских стран о поставках высокоточных систем вооружения большого радиуса действия, самолетов F-16 и другого высокотехнологичного вооружения, техники для нанесения ударов по российской территории. В этой связи Российская Федерация не исключает для себя развитие военно-технического сотрудничества с Корейской Народно-Демократической Республикой в соответствии с подписанным сегодня документом.
And there you go. So they're basically, and here's my question to the group. All right, here's my question to the class right here. Is these two dictators are basically meeting and saying, all right, here's what we're going to agree to. I'm going to give you this. You're going to give me this. If somebody hits me, you're going to hit them with me. And if somebody hits you, I'm going to hit them with you. All right? Everybody with me so far? We're already doing it. Do y'all not remember the interview that Biden literally just did like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where he came out and admitted that Ukraine was using American weapons inside the Russian border? Now, I mean, he stupidly said, "No, well, I told them that they couldn't attack Moscow and they had to stay within 200 miles of the border." You're still attacking Russia, you goon. So that's what got me prairie dogging. Because we're already doing it. Like, there's already missiles into Russia right now with our names on them. So, y'all, I'm here to tell you, we're here.
Todd, do you remember a time, and Mr. Producer, can you throw that video back up and pause it right when he calls out when he flat out says the United States on it, right? I mean, you saw that?
Yeah.
I can't remember a time when he,
right there,
yeah, where he is calling out the United States. He usually says the West or, NATO allies. He is flat out calling out the United States. I mean, I don't remember a time where...
Yes. Oh, no, this happens. This happens. It's just they do it behind closed doors with no cameras.
Yeah.
Okay? If Trump was the president right now, we wouldn't have heard of any of this. None of this. But what they're doing is they're coming out now, and it's like you said, Tony, instead of saying West, they just come out saying United States. What they're coming out is going.
Exactly.
Check. What you gonna do? I just literally, and you got to remember, the ships, the Russian ships came within 25 miles of Florida's border, coastline, 25 miles. 24 miles is the line. That's the whatever they call it, international waters, common ground, common area. So Putin went and parked his ship 1 mile off of that and said, check. And this is another one. Check. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Well, that's what Biden does. He ain't said a word about it. He's not going to, because he knows he can do nothing.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, they have between now and November where they're setting up all their chess pieces, pretty much.
For sure.
And hoping that Trump doesn't get in office because
they're praying this gets stolen.
Yeah.
Please, because y'all, and I've said it time and time again. This is a crossroad of epic biblical proportion. Come November 5th. We are either going to go down the right way or we are going to fall hard. And I mean really hard. But to make matters worse, okay, yeah, the North Korea thing is scary. Those ships being in Cuba, scary. For me personally, what we're about to show you is scarier to me, okay? Let's throw this up. Right now, we are on a high alert, the highest we've ever been since 9/11. All right, and we've got this doofus right here blinking. Roll the clip.
John, former acting CIA Director Michael Morrell wrote in Foreign Affairs today that the terrorism warning lights are blinking red again. Do you agree with that assessment?
Certainly, we would absolutely say unequivocally that we've got to keep our eye on the terrorist threat. Just in the recent week or so, AFRICOM took a strike on some ISIS leaders in Somalia. Now,
all right, we're at the highest level and unfortunately for me, my secret clearance ran out, so I can't make phone calls and figure out what's going on right now. Or I would, I promise. I promise you I would. But we've got another one.
What do they expect, though? I mean, with the open borders, they're letting in. How many? What did we say the other day? That how many illegal?
It's 9 million. It's over 9 million.
9 million people. 9 million unvetted illegal immigrants are in the country now.
All right, so Mario put this out. This is the House Intel chair. It's a video basically saying that the threat level is highest it's been since 9/11. Rep. Mike Turner warns that the U.S. is facing the highest terrorist threat since 9/11 due to Biden's open border. All right, let's go. Play this one.
Last week, as you know, there were federal immigration arrests of these 8 individuals with suspected ties to ISIS. They were rounded up in Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and New York. They traveled from Central Asia Tajikistan, across the southern border into the U.S. Do you have any indication that there is an active terror plot?
Well, Margaret, I can neither confirm nor deny all the details that you've just reported, but what's important about these reports and what we're seeing, especially in conjunction with Director Wray's public statements that we are at the highest level of a possible terrorist threat, that the administration's policies have absolutely, directly related to threats to Americans. These are no longer speculative, no longer hypothetical. We have actual administration officials stepping forward, and certainly our committee and our committee members have concurred on the intelligence that we're seeing, that as a result of the administration's policies allowing people to cross the border unvetted, we have terrorists that are actively working with inside the United States that are a threat to Americans.
Well, the issue, as we understand it from our reporting, is that there was vetting, but that the vetting didn't turn up any derogatory information. Doesn't that indicate that there's a broader problem with the system that Congress would also have to address?
Well, Margaret, as you know, there are those who are vetted, and in the vetting process, there is not evidence the United States currently has that they're actively engaged in terrorist plotting or engaged with terrorist groups or organizations. And this administration, by their own policy, are then allowing those individuals in instead of fully vetting them, fully understanding what the risk is to the United States, and for the fact that they're letting them in and they're entering the United States through the southern border illegally. And that's what the threat is. That's what Director Wray is identifying and is bringing forward. This administration's policies are directly resulting in people who are in the United States illegally, who have ties to terrorist groups and organizations, and this is a threat.
The U.S. has already been in a heightened threat environment, but this past week...
All right, let's stop it right there, Mr. Producer. Thank you. Because any longer, and I would have had to put on a helmet.
I have a question for you, Todd, and the chat whenever you're done. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, well, two things. The first one is, our government usually, like he just said, I can't confirm nor deny. But if me being a U.S. citizen, if I knew something was about to go down, wouldn't you want your senses to be heightened and whatnot? Because I mean, isn't there a thing? And the chat also, if you see something, you say something. If you see something happening, you want to do something about it. Why wouldn't they come out and say, hey, everybody in blah 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 USA, we have some intel that says that something's going down over there. Just keep an eye out, just in case. Call 911 if you see something happening. I mean, I know sometimes it makes people panic a little bit, but I would rather be a little bit more with my heightened senses than just be a sheep out there and not knowing anything was going on.
Yeah. All right. So, and here's the thing. This is why you can't do that. All right, because number one, you can't cause a mass panic.
No, I get that,
but you'll never see anything. That's the second problem. All right, that you'll listen, okay, and guys, girls that are in the chat right now that are veterans, we're fixing to be right here. All right, so I'm gonna start from the very beginning. All right, this is this dude talked for 3 minutes and said nothing. First off, said nothing. All right, it sounded like the Charlie Brown thing. Wah 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 wah. That's what it sounded like to me. This is not Democrat policy. Okay, they haven't made policy. That's the problem. Everything was perfect when it comes to immigration and the border when Biden stepped into the White House in January. Everything was perfect. All he had to do, he didn't even have to hold the wheel. It was on cruise control.
Yep.
All he had to do was not mess it up. And what is the first thing he does? I'm getting rid of all of it. Every bit of it. Well, now we've got 9 million people in this country illegally. And so then he comes out and he starts blaming the Republicans. Well, they won't do anything about it. They won't send me a bill. They won't send me nothing. And remember when he was walking to the helicopter and is like, President, are you going to do something? Give me the power. Give me the power and I'll do something. I don't have the power to do it. And then 2 or 3 months later, I guess I'll have to do it myself. And he did an executive order that, guess what? Still allows 1.5 million people in this country illegally per year. So he does nothing at this point. He does nothing. And now he's granting citizenship for 500,000 of them. So he's doing nothing. It's all like, again, this is what they do. They're not stupid. They're doing this, so you can't see what's going on here.
Yeah, well, he is doing something. He's giving 500,000 people the ability to vote for him.
No, for sure. But the thing about it is like all of us here, we've seen this game before. All right, we've seen it. We're not stupid. You're not stupid. Tony's not stupid. But I've seen this before. All right, so that's one. We got to be real about it. This is not Democrat Biden administration policy failures. He didn't do anything. He did nothing. But to answer your terrorist question, okay, Tony, there's two types of evil that comes across that border illegally. And I'm not saying out of 9, 10, 12 illegals that all of them are terrorist killer type people.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm saying. Okay, but out of the evil people that cross this border, there's two types. Okay, one, there are your cartel, your gang members, your people that they do not care about society at all. That they would be better off than here.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, and those are the people that are going in Laken Riley's death, Rachel Mooring up in Maryland, that 13-year-old kid, the cops getting beat on,
right?
The truck driver that killed that was. And I still ain't figured this one out. The guy was driving a semi-truck, had been kicked out of this country 16 times. 16 times he'd been deported. Somehow he's behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler, runs a dude over and kills him.
Yeah.
I ain't figured that one out yet.
Yeah,
like
who
gave him the job? All right, but that's type. That's the one type.
Yeah,
that's type. That's the one type. Okay, very deadly, very scary, but not as scary as the second type. Though the second type are the actual terrorists that are coming into this country. All right, they've already caught 8 of them that have direct links to ISIS. You think it's just 8?
Yep.
Nah, bruh.
Yep.
Nah,
I hear you.
Not even close to 8. And these people are organized. They're intelligent. They know how to hide in plain sight. And nothing's going to happen right now. Because we have a heightened awareness. They don't play the game like that. That's not how they play the game. They wait until your guard's down and you're not looking over your shoulder, and then kaboom, it's done. That's why Tony, when you say, if you see something, say something, you're never going to see anything. By the time you see something with these people, it's too late. I mean, look at 9/11. Yeah. By the time we knew what was going on, it was already done. The damage had been done. Okay? So, and I hear people say all the time, especially on socials now, that if you get rid of all of them, that's genocide. That's a form of genocide. I'm sorry, folks. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. And I hope Trump does exactly what he said he's going to do and have the largest deportation in American history. And to the good people out there that are here illegally, that you were just here trying to make a life for your family, I'm sorry. I truly am. But you got to go because I don't know you. I don't know what your intentions are. I have no idea. And sorry. You got to go.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And I just, like I said, for me as a citizen, a father, a husband, whenever I go to the movies or whatnot, I'm always very, very, very aware of where my exits are, who's around me and whatnot. I mean, I'm always just, I mean, I don't know if that's just in my blood, but I mean, if I feel like I know something is going on, I'm just paying more attention. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Dude, we showed the video of that woman that stabbed that 4-year-old. She was walking around with a knife this long in the store, and nobody said a word. And I want to say that it's probably because of my military training, but I know what's around me all the time. I sit strategically at a restaurant at certain places at certain angles, so I can see what's coming in and what's going out.
Yep, same here.
All right, I would have noticed that woman with a knife my spidey sense would have started tingling as soon as she hit the door.
Yeah, I saw that video too, and I couldn't
Insane.
believe nobody said anything. I mean, this lady, you're right. I mean, she was walking around with a knife, and nobody said anything.
But,
I mean, I think all that could have been avoided.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
It just breaks my heart for that little
me
boy.
too.
So it's
Me too, for sure, 100%. But to the men and the women out here in Dear America family, you guys know how I feel about you. All right, I love you guys, and so I am begging and pleading with you, with everything that's going on in our country right now, ladies and gentlemen. Men, take your lady to the range. All right, if you're by yourself, go to the range. There are several law enforcement agencies in this country that have what is called the course. It's enhanced carry course. All right, go take the class. All right, and don't tell me pepper spray and stun gun. Okay, people can shake pepper spray. People can shake stun guns. They can't shake 40.
true. Very true.
You smell what I'm stepping in, people. You smell what I'm stepping in. You can't shake a 40.
Very true.
Protect yourselves, okay, at all times.
Very
and
true.
keep your head on a swivel. Because unfortunately, this is the America that we have right now. All right, I'm sure. I mean, Laken Riley was just going out for her morning run, got killed. The mother of 5 in Maryland was going on her morning hike, killed. 13-year-old, broad daylight. Broad daylight. Ladies, please do yourself a favor. Do me a favor, because I worry. Keep your head on a swivel, please.
And let me touch on that a little bit also, Todd. And I can see a lot of people are, or some people are, saying that they live in places where they can't carry. It's not just about carrying. I think this goes for men too, because I know a lot of people that don't particularly care for guns, but it's always a good education thing to know how a gun works, how you can load it. I mean, it's totally different. People that have never fired a firearm before, it's totally different than what you see on TV. There is a little bit of a surprise when you're with the recoil and the smell and the sound. It's something you have to get used to, and you don't want to be a first time handling the gun when something's going off and it's too late.
That's a fact.
It's all about training, just like driving. You get used to it, you get more comfortable with it. It's all about being prepared, and that's what it boils down to.
And I see a lot of people in the chat like saying, "Hey, I live in New York, can't get a gun." Look, can you get are you allowed? I don't know. I live in Mississippi. You can have a bazooka here. They don't care. But are you allowed to have a shotgun or a rifle of any kind? Because if you are, go get a tactical shotgun. Put it by your door. Now, that's not going to protect you walking around the street, unfortunately. But my advice right now is I wouldn't live in a state where I wasn't allowed to have a gun. Just forget it. Not right now.
And it was funny too, because when I lived in Oregon, a lot of my family members that didn't believe in having guns, they would always say stuff like, "Well, if a zombie apocalypse ever broke out, I'm coming to your house." And I was like, how about you just be responsible and get your own pistol? At least go out and shoot one. That way you know what it feels like. I mean, I don't want to be responsible for your life if you're not taking responsibility for your own self. So
for sure. But, and I did the same thing with Kendra. She took the class, she qualified with her weapon because she's a real estate agent. And like she goes and shows houses with dudes. And so, she carries and she knows how to use that thing because I'm not always going to be there to protect her. And God help the person that tries to mess with that woman. I'm here to tell you. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
but,
it's a good skill to just know and just be educated on. That's all. That's all we're saying.
For sure. If anything, and guys, I've done this before. I've had this happen before. I've had to pull a gun on a civilian outside of the military. And let me tell you something. When you pull it, 99.9% of the time that does it. Okay? So if just to have it, You know,
Exactly.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what your answer is. Maybe it's go buy a plastic squirt gun that looks like a Glock. I don't know. You know, think outside the box, but do what you got to do to
Yeah,
protect
exactly.
yourself
And I always
and your
tell,
loved ones.
and I always say, you know, one of my things that I live by, it's always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
That's a
So,
fact.
yep.
That's a fact. But on a lighter note, this guy, and I just saw this for the first time this morning. His name's Royce White. Mr. Producer, can you pull this up? I just saw this was pretty interesting. Former NBA player Royce White wrote "Free Trump" on his head for the Big Three tournament. Now, see, I got a full transparency. When we went over that this morning, Tony, I thought he got that tattooed on his head. Like, I was fixing to attack this in a whole nother level.
Oh, he wrote it with a Sharpie
He just
or something?
wrote it. I guess somebody wrote it with a Sharpie. But again, there you go. Like, you see everything changing. And guys, we've got to just keep pushing until we get to the finish line in November. We cannot stop. We're seeing that red wave starting to build, but we got to keep this train going.
8 years ago, Todd, would you have seen that?
Oh, God, no. No. Absolutely not. No. But, you know, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. The reason why this is going on right now is because Biden does not appeal to the people in any way, shape, form, or fashion. When Biden goes and speaks to a large crowd, it's because somebody like George Clooney or Julia Roberts or some stupid comedian has to throw him a benefit so he can get out in front of people. And even then, he still goes, "Hey, my boys, jobs and the jobs and the jobs and jobs and boys and jobs and the Biden and the yeah."
That is a great point. I mean,
And did you see that though? That little piece of
yeah.
And what does Obama do? That's right. When that happened, I was reminded of like when I was in like a teenager going to parties and like one of my buddies being drunk just rambled on about nothing for about 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm just like, that's right. Or I hear you, bud. That is exactly what Obama did. Because he couldn't add to it because how do you add to my jobs and jobs and bombs and bobs? That's right.
That's
What do
a
you do with
very
that?
good. Yeah, that's a very good point.
There we go. Here
yeah,
it
there it
is.
is right there. Yep.
Here
That's
it
a good
is.
point because you're right. He needs famous people to come and draw people in. Trump, I don't think needs that. Trump can
dude,
show up.
he was in
Trump
the
can show up on a rally
Bronx.
by himself.
He
and
was
he
in
would
the
just,
Bronx, loaded. Detroit, loaded. Wisconsin, loaded. I mean, loaded. Because people are starting to wake up and realize that Donald Trump is for you. He's for you. Period. He is for the people. That is why he is doing this. But ladies and gentlemen, I've said this several times. I love this country. I love it with all my heart.
Same
And
here.
I'm telling you right now, if that boat was steered in the right direction and my country called me and told me, Todd, you know, Sergeant Spears, we need more blood. If the ship was pointed in the right direction, I would gladly give it. Gladly give it. But I got to be honest with you. I don't think I love it as much as Trump does. Because if I was a bazillionaire and this was happening to me, y'all are on your own. I'm just being honest.
And that's what people I don't think realize. He is doing this for the love of the country. He's not doing it because he needs it or, you know, he feels this is what I think. I think he's doing it because he feels that the country needs him, not that he wants to be president. I mean, I'm sure, you know, like Todd said, the guy's a bazillionaire. He doesn't need this job. He wants to do this job to better the country.
Yeah, and New Jersey Kit Kat just said, I don't believe that, Todd. I hope you're not saying you don't believe I would bounce because I would. I'm here to tell you, like, I would. Because that's just a no-win situation, you know. That's the way I look at it. And all that does is that damages future Republicans that are not politicians like your Viveks from looking at it and going, not doing it. Definitely not doing it. But he's basically shielding us from a whole lot of stuff. Let me put it to you this way. He is the only president in my lifetime, 41 years, my lifetime, that lost money to be the president. Lost money.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else made hundreds of millions of dollars in the 4 to 8 years they were in office. Trump lost money while he was president. Riddle me that. Like, the man loves this country. You say whatever you want to about him. He loves him some red, white, and blue. He has to. Either that or he's just crazy.
And one more thing I got to say to all my liberal friends and family members and all the people that are watching that are liberal and they're still on the fence. If something pops off with Russia, China, and North Korea, would you rather have Biden in office or would you rather have Trump in office? And if you look down in your soul, I mean, you want the big dog in that fight. You don't want a little chihuahua in that fight. That's all I'm saying.
But you know what their excuse is? And I can already hear it in my hair. Their excuse is, no, I'd rather have Biden because he would talk his way out of it. Trump's too unpredictable and
Biden
too
can't
crazy.
even talk.
I'm just telling you, that's what they're going to say. They're going to say Biden won't go to war. He'll talk about it. Yeah, so this, and I asked this question when we talked about this the other day. Where's all the footage of this thing? Where's it at? Because it was kind of ironic. You got all these famous actors and no footage. So roll this.
And guess what? It's growing. The economy's growing. People are doing better. We have the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years. We have more people. We've had over 15 million people brand new hired into the workforce. You know, my son says we all have various short-term descriptions for your jobs, for what you accomplished. And he should say Joe Jobs. And guess what? It's growing.
Joe Jobs, and it doesn't have the Obama part in it, but Obama, right after he finished his little sentence, that's right.
I'm watching that saying, "Roar." What?
Exactly. Freaking mush mouth, man. I just like, dude, and it's funny because like he's not coming out and doing any pressers at all because KJP said yesterday he's debate prepping. Let's be honest, he's in a hospital bed somewhere like getting blood transfusions and like, you know, GoBots and Transformers inducted into his body or something to keep him awake. Anyway, that's all the time we got, guys. Listen, I know Graham wasn't here, so I really appreciate you guys showing up. It's been a long time since me and Tony have got to hang out with you guys just one-on-one. I got to say, I enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. But we do have some super questions here, so let's get in. It's only a couple. Little Mama Lee, as a true American woman, it is shameful that we have to live in such fear. I miss the days we didn't have to lock our doors and looked out for each other. I'm CWP certified and will protect what's mine. I couldn't agree with you more, Lil Mama. Like, I really couldn't. Now, fortunately for me, I still live in an area where I can leave my doors unlocked. I can. But I know exactly what you're talking about. The little town that I grew up in, which is about 20 miles that way, everybody took care of everybody. You know, I mean... And if your kid needed a beating, you'd get a beating from your neighbor and then a beating from your parents when they got home. So, I mean, it takes a village. But, yeah, I miss those days, too. And, unfortunately, they're long gone.
And that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for to keep a society where we can leave our doors open and trust our neighbors and, you know, everybody be safe. So,
yeah, for a fact. Hey, you come on down here. I'll look out for you. I promise. I'll look out for you. So, from CFAM54 Puppy. Be strong, do not fear, trust in God, and arm up.
Amen.
I couldn't agree with you more. And before we sign off, because that was the last question, before we sign off, I want to kind of give y'all a little parting gift here. Because we say this on the show all the time, and I hear pastors say this all the time, that, you know, according to the book of Revelations, we're not supposed to win this. All right, that, you know, we win in the end, which we do. But there is no America in Revelation. So we're not supposed to win this. Things are supposed to get bad. And Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, but here's my issue with that statement. Jesus didn't say to go down without a fight either. Sure. I don't remember that being in the book anywhere. So it's time. ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the silent majority to be silent no more. Because, yeah, we're not supposed to win, but Jesus didn't say don't go down without a fight. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know about y'all. I'm going down swinging. Period. But
Same
that's
here,
all
brother.
the time we
Same
got.
here, brother. Yep.
That's all the time we got. Do we have it? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. We got another one. Brandalorian 97. What are the chances they automatically put women 18 to 25 in the draft, like they did the men?
This.
Yeah, they did. Brando, they did. They actually did. Like they're not. It's weird because they're not reporting it on socials. But
we were literally just talking about this right before the show. We were just talking
about that. Yeah, no, women are a part of the draft now. They are. So it's 18 to, they changed the age to what, 26? And then they added women, which I'm sorry, I think is fair. Like, I mean, do I think women should be in combat jobs? No, I don't. Not at all. But no, they should be drafted just like us. I mean, yeah, I've always thought that.
Todd and I were talking about this before the show because I have a 20-year-old or almost 20-year-old, and yeah, I mean, as a U.S. citizen, I mean that's just part of your, that's part of being a U.S. citizen, and I'm scared for her. But like Todd said, I think if women do get drafted, I think they should be in jobs where it doesn't put everybody else in danger. Because as I was listening to that talk show yesterday, and a veteran called in and he said that. When women are in the battlefield, Todd, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but it always seems like the men soldiers are worried about the women as they're in combat zone.
Yeah, and I said this because I was recruiting for the Army when they made this switch that they were allowing women to do infantry, combat engineer, things of that nature. I didn't like it. Not because I felt like, women are less than men or anything like that. It's got nothing to do with it. It's because men, real men, let me rephrase, real men are wired to protect women and children.
Right, it's in our DNA.
That's in our DNA. And so in my mind, I'm thinking if I'm on a battlefield and there is a woman next to me, I'm going to be more focused on her, protecting her, than I am doing my mission. So yeah, that would be the problem. And we do have some more super questions. Apparently there's a lot of them. I don't see them. All right, here we go. Thank you, Mr. Producer. Monday, you said they don't care if you're the only son. I could only assume that applies with my mental health since they already have. So in the military, that deal with it. I worry about my 18-year-old sister who deals with it. And that is the thing. Like, people think that if you're the only son that you can't be drafted. That's not true. That's not true at all. It doesn't matter. They don't care. You can go. If you're the only son to carry on the name, you can still go. All right, how many more we got, Mr. Producer? That's it for YouTube. All right, here we go. From Sanctified Warfighter. People are more concerned about the Second Amendment than the Second Advent. Arm yourselves, but put Jesus first. I agree with you. But I have to kind of piggyback that a little bit, Sanctified, is I think we're using the book of Revelations, knowing that we don't win this, as a way to bow out. And that's where I have the problem. Like, I know I'm not going to win. I know we're not going to beat him here. Okay, I know we're not. But I'm still going down swinging. All right, because I would rather
100%.
like get killed on my feet than live a life on my knees.
Absolutely.
That's not going to happen.
100%. Yep.
Again, he said there's more super questions. Guys, I'm not seeing them. From Jesse Paz, it must be. And Rumble, yeah. Jesse Paz 94, you're telling me we find out Robert's name and all of a sudden he's gone. I can neither confirm nor deny that is his full name. I can just tell you my first name is Michael. That's all. I don't care.
I didn't hear that. I was reading a question right here. What did it say?
He says, she says, you're telling me we find out Robert's name and all of a sudden he's gone. I can neither confirm nor deny that is Graham's first name. Neither going to confirm nor deny.
He's in WITSEC now.
All right, but I am going to make a promise to you guys. I will find out. If I missed your super question, I promise you we will have it in the show tomorrow. You have my word. I will find a way to get it. It's just I'm looking, guys, and they're gone.
I see one for me right here, but I can't see who sent it. but I'll read the question.
Yeah, read it.
And I'm sorry that I can't see your name. It says, Tony, does your Maracas pup have a name? If not, how about y'all hold some sort of contest or poll to name your pup? I vote for Panchito. Okay, thanks.
What does that mean?
It's just a very stereotypical name for Mexicans, just Pancho or Jose or something like,
Like
Jose,
Cracker.
Jose. Yeah.
Like Cracker.
Yeah.
Okay. Mystified Wonder. Oh, there it is.
There it is right there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, contest Panchito.
There it is. I'm sorry I couldn't see your name. I don't know what's going on with my
Yeah, I
live
think
chat
we got
over
another one. How do I contact Tony directly? Tony, you can answer that.
I am at Tony at dearamericamedia.com.
There you go.
Yep.
And
send it over.
there you go. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all the time we got. Like I said, if I missed your super question, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not seeing it over here. I will find a way to get it, and we'll put it in tomorrow. Tony, say goodbye.
Hasta mañana, everybody. And for the person that said how you contact me, you can also look me up on all my socials at Mexican Tony. So, hasta mañana, everybody.
All right, let's pray this thing out. Father, we just thank you for a good show. Lord, we thank you for giving us the platform that you have given us to be able to come out and just tell the truth. Just give people hope, give people light. And when we can, that we speak your name, and when we do speak it, we speak it boldly. Father, if there's anybody out there that has a need, whether it be emotionally, spiritually, or physically, Father, I just ask that you go to that individual right now and you meet that need and you show them the God that you truly are. Father, we love you. We thank you. If there's, most importantly right now, if there is somebody out there that does not know you, that has never felt your love, your grace, and your mercy that is fresh for us every single day, Father, I ask that you meet that person. You go to that person and just reveal the true nature and the true Father that you really are. Father, we love you and we thank you. And all God's people said,
Amen.
And I am Hot Seat Todd. Do not forget, stay awake, not woke, trusting God, not the government, and as always, stay free. Later, guys.